Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I got a bit more of Christmas in July. So I made this card for the Stampin' Dreams blog hop. So I thought I'd make it again now for a video. So I'm going to change the colour. So this is fresh freesia. So I'm going to use pale papaya, and I've used some basic white. The Merry Christmas stamp is from Snowman Season. I do love that. And I've used 3 lots of dies. I've used the three smallest snowflakes from this set here, because there's 1 in the middle as well. There's 2 on top. I've used the stitched rectangles for these panels, and then on the outside I've used, this is stitched with Whimsy, so I've used the square on the outside, and then to carry that theme through on the inside I've used 1 panel on the inside. And you might be forgiven to think, I don't know if you can see all that glimmer, that I've used Wing Castella on some cardstock, but I didn't. I've used this lovely glittery vellum that we've got. So the 12 by 12 sheets, you get 2 sheets of each colour, and they are the current the new in colours. So very, very lovely. Of course you could use the other side if you didn't want it to be glittery, but why would you do that? So so that's what I used for the snowflakes. Okay, so these dies, I've said it before, they're designed, so this is our normal C6, and as you can see it's a little bit longer. So to map beautifully with these dies, I'm going to cut it down to 5.5, which is half an American sized, letter size I think they call it, card, and that is what they're sort of designed to fit really. So it is no hassle, just taking a little strip off, and so now that will mat quite nicely. So I'm going to cut myself 2/4 of this ready for embossing, so don't need that. I do the whole quarter so that I can fit the largest stitch rectangle die in it. So let me show you what I'm going to do. So I take the largest stitch rectangle, and that will cut it out. It doesn't have to be as long, but it certainly needs to be that width for the die to fit on. So I cut both of those out, and then using these lovely Whimsy dies, which don't cut anything out, it just leaves an impression. So that nests quite nicely inside that one. And then for the front, I just took the biggest square, and once I'd cut it out so that I could see where the sort of top was, I ran it through the die cutter that way, with that kind of centered, making sure it was even and that was straight up and down. Ran it through that way, then I took it out, and then I ran it through again so it was on the straight. So that's that bit that I've got to do. And then I picked out the snowflakes, and I do love the way they layer on top. I loved these last year, was absolutely delighted when they carried over. So that one, and my idea was originally to layer all 3 up, but I felt that 2 was enough, and then I just put the 3rd one in the middle, so you've got a little bit of something in the middle, which I think is always very special in a card. So I took my big 12 by 12 and I just worked out how much I would need, and then I just cut that bit round so it could go through my die cutter. So I'm going to get all that done. So that's them all cut up. One thing I'll say is with this vellum is be careful when you take it out of the die. I have got a casualty, but I don't think it will matter because you're not really going to notice when I layer that up. So I didn't bother cutting another one. Okay, so I've got that ready for the inside, and that's going to go on there. And then I've got this ready for the outside with those to stick on. But I'm going to stamp it first, just in case it got horribly wrong. And then I'll won't have wasted my snowflakes as well as the bit of card. But I should be okay. It is see-through. So that's why I like photopolymer, because you can see where you're stamping. Now, if I was making lots of these, I'd probably use my Stamparatus so that I could place it. But I'm just doing the one. There. See, fine. Knew it would be. So, now I'm going to stick these down. Oh, I don't need my mat now, do I? Get off. So I've got my Tombow in a little fine bottle with a needle. So I'm just going to do some little dots around. Now, you didn't see through these on my prototype, so I'm kind of hoping that that will be the case with this. Let's put it straight, center it. Yep. Now I'm going to get a block and pop it down on top like so. Pretty colour this. I'm not an orange person, but I quite like this. It's quite delicate. I do like Christmas cards made in non-traditional colours. Makes a change. And it always makes me think of a story that my sister-in-law told us. She's a primary school teacher, and she was doing, I can't remember if it was her teaching practice or if she actually worked there permanently, but one of the kids was, they were all making Christmas cards, and one of the kids was colouring in Santa suit purple, and she went, "Oh, you've chosen purple. Santa normally wears red." And the kid looked up and just went, "He fancied a change." And it's stuck with us. I mean, this is probably about 20, nearly 30 years ago she was telling us this. It still makes us laugh. There we go. So I might leave that for a little bit longer, and then I'll do the one in the middle, and then I just used some gems to carry through the blinginess that this lovely vellum gets. And let's face it, you can't have too much bling at Christmas. So I've got my rhinestones at the ready. And I'm going to put one of the bigger ones in the centre. I always like to put one over the eye for the Christmas. I got a bit of ink on my hand. Drive me mad, that will. There. And then I decided to put one in the inside of each of these, just to make it a little bit extra special. And I think that finishes it off lovely. Not going to put one in the centre of that one because then you won't be able to close the card. So now just need to stick these down. Bit of Tombow around the edges. And you can see how cutting this down to 5.5 in height gives you the perfect mat for this stitch rectangle. And that's it. Simple but elegant, I think. I've done it again. Don't know what I'm doing. I need to make sure my hands are really nice and clean there. Now I'm done. And that's it. So we have one in fresh freesia and one in pale papaya. So, oh, and I hadn't realised, I'd forgotten I actually heat embossed that, but never mind, I haven't heat embossed that one, so that's fine. But that's another thing you can do, and that is actually why I knew I'd used Stamparatus. I just stamped over the top in Versamark and heat embossed it, but haven't done that one. So there we go, leaving it at that. So hope you like that, and if you link down below to my blog, and I'll link to the original blog hop as well, so you can see what other Christmas delights people have made, and I'll link to all my shop items, so if you wish to purchase any of this you can. And don't forget, in July we have 15% off DSP, not all the DSP, not the speciality ones. Okay, see you again soon. Bye for now.